Hi, thanks for stopping by this YouTube channel. My name is Kathy Smith. I'm at the Creative Age Studio in London, Ontario. Now, you're probably landed here because you received a creativity kit, and it's a plain brown cardboard box that you received at your home or at your apartment. And I wanted to give you a little bit of background information about some of the things you'll find in your creativity kit. First of all, the creativity kits are projects that have been developed through the funding of New Horizons for Canada, and they're programs, pandemic-proof programs for seniors or older adults. This particular project is co-sponsored by Museum London, the Creative Age Studio, and the London Middlesex Community Housing Corporation. So we've been very pleased that we've been able to develop some types of alternative programming for older adults. In case you can't make it into the museum, you can't gather at the senior center, but these are creative activities that you can do at home. So inside your creativity kit, you'll have a brochure that explains the contents and some information to get you started. We have 4 creativity kits, and this one is about creative journaling. Now, this little brochure will give you some tips on how to get started, and we encourage you to try journaling I would offer a challenge for you to try journaling for a month, to set aside some time in the morning or in the evening and to just be with your journal with some quiet time. Maybe put some music on in the background and have a cup of tea or a coffee and just have some quiet time with your creative journal. And you'll also find a brochure about programs at Museum London. Museum London has virtual programming. You can take tours and exhibits online, and when the protocols allow, Museum London has programming on site, and they're very affordable. Some of them are very low cost, and you can always just pay what you can. So we want the programs and the activities to be accessible and affordable for all. Inside the kit, you'll also find this plain brown craft journal. This is called a moleskin journal, and this is the journal that I chose to put into the kit to get you started. And it looks pretty plain right there, and when you open it up, it looks pretty plain. And people say, you know what? How do I get started? How do I take all these blank pages, and how do I even think about something to put in my journal on a daily basis? But I'm always surprised when people get started and they get the hang of it and they start doing journal pages 1 at a time or 3 at a time or 4 at a time, that they just keep going and they find a lot more creative activities that they can put in their journal. At the back, there's some sticky to-do lists, and there's a flap. If you have your journal with you and you find little bits of paper or some pamphlets and brochures you want to keep, you can always tuck it in the flap in the back of the journal. This is not a pocket journal. I would say it's more the size of a purse journal, so it's about 5 by 7. And that's the kind of journal that we use to get started. Now, the easiest thing to get started is to decorate your cover page. And I've included some glue sticks so you can glue bits of paper or things that you want to put on the cover. Here I've torn some paper and I've cut out some images and I've cut out a circle and I've layered everything on top of each other to give some color and interest to the cover page. And once you get the cover page done, you're of course going to want to continue on. And most of the time people will use images from magazines. They'll tear out headlines and quotes and things that they want to include in their journal. My son says that I put my name there because I don't want to forget who I am. And there's always no guarantee. But anyway, these journals are simple to get started once you know some basic structure. So I'm just going to tell you about my structure, and then you'll develop your own. First of all, at the beginning of the month, I do a calendar, and I just do it with markers and a ruler. I put Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and the days, the date, and then some things that I have going on. I'm not as busy as I used to be because I'm retired as well. And so I just put things down that are important to me, or reminders to do, some bullet point things to do. And then I start with always writing the day and the date at the top left-hand corner of my page. And my usual practice is writing one page and then doing some kind of collage or marker or doodling on the opposite page. I can add borders around this, and I can write over top of it. And that's the minimum that I do in my journal, is one page and one collage or sketching or drawing page or doodling page. Sometimes I get really wordy and I can write pages and pages, but that's not all the time. Again, you see, I've cut things out and I just put borders around them. I've done some bullet points to remind myself of something that I might want to do that day or that weekend. And if I can't think of anything to do on my image page or my collage page, I leave it blank, and then I'll always go back when I'm inspired and fill in the pages. In this page, I just did things to do. I used my ruler and marker and a little bit of washi tape across the bottom for a border. And I'll tell you more about these washi tapes. So this is a very simple structure for a journal that you might want to start. You can do the days of the week with to-do lists and calendars. You don't have to put those in. You can put lots of color and paper craft into your journal entries. The borders I put on with my journal turned horizontally, and then the writing I did when the journal was vertical, and I just cut magazine images out and to add some color and interest to my pages. But all the while I'm exploring about some of the principles of collage and design on a page, what I like, what I don't like, and what my ideas and thoughts are on that particular day. Sometimes I just add a bit of color with stickers or markers, and I just do writing. So there's no right or wrong. Everybody will do a journal for their own pleasure and their own purpose. These journals are mostly meant just to be private for you. At some point you might want to tackle a gift journal where you actually prepare a journal as a gift for your grandchildren or your children as a legacy project. But these kits are just meant to get you started. These pens have archival ink. The ink won't fade, and they don't bleed from one side of the page through to the next. So that helps out a lot when you're doing a lot of writing on your pages. Your glue sticks are included, and you'll also find some washi tapes in your kit and some markers. So what will happen as time goes by? You might start gathering some of your own pages from magazines or labels or greeting cards or anything that you have that you might want to keep. And you'll incorporate those pages and the color or the image, cut it out and use it as a paper collage in your journal. I wanted to show you one kind of journal that's just all images. So there's not a lot of writing in this journal. It's just sketching, different cutout decoupage pieces, some magazine photos, some collage compositions, different size photos and articles, and photocopies of photographs, so you don't have to use your original photographs. You can just take a photocopy and glue it into your journal with some other elements. It's always good to use different size of text and fonts, and then you can add little bits of color when you want to do that. So this would be a journal cover that's just one page of art paper or gift wrap, and it's not a cut up collage. It's just one piece, solid piece, glued onto the cover of that particular journal. Some people like to add a lot of bullet points. They want to track what they're doing, how many steps they're taking, and they keep their journals more like a health and wellness record. And they write things to do, which is called a bullet point journal. And they do everything by hand. They'll put instead of using stickers, people will draw boxes and borders and add markers. And there can be a lot of color in your pages. There can be minimum color with writing. There's no right, there's no wrong. Everyone starts to do their journal and starts experimenting with things that appeal to them. Adding writing, essay writing, memory writing, reminiscence, or just having collage and paper craft. One of the particular journals that's there are journal groups like are the recipe journals, and people like to cut out favorite recipes and images from different food magazines and keep their journals with their favorite recipes. And they try recipes in different ways, and they record the success or the failure of that particular recipe. Here, I've made a pocket page just by gluing down the edges, and I put some decorated tags and little color bits and markers and bookmarks. You can make your journal interactive by adding envelopes and pockets. And then you can track calories, carbs, steps that you're taking, and just write about your ideas of meditation and health. During the summer, people keep garden pictures, photos, magazine articles about house plants and garden plants. So there's all kinds of themes that you can use in developing your journals. One of the things you'll find in your journal kit are these envelopes with these tags. The tags are covered by vintage paper, And when you open the envelopes, you'll find lots and lots of stickers and papers and things that you can use to start embellishing your journal pages. And in future videos, I'll be doing prompts for different journal writing exercises, and it can help kickstart your creativity. Some of these things are just peel and stick, and you take them off the backing and put them into your journal. Some of these translucent or transparent stickers can be kind of tricky to get going, so you'll need to use all your wisdom and patience to find a corner on the sticker so you can peel away the sticker from the plastic backing. And one of the things that you might do is you might have to try different corners to find the corner that wants to start peeling away from the backing. And when you get the hang of it, you can start to feel the sticker loosen up from the backing. And when you get the hang of it, you'll start to feel the sticker loosen from the backing, and then you can use it in your journal and put them on your pages. And they add some nice layering. And one of the tricks that you'll start to discover is that simple book pages, vintage pages, can be used as backgrounds. You can put your stickers on top, your text on top of that, and just develop some color and interest with some of your hand-drawn borders or your washi tapes. And these are washi tapes. I'll just put one on here, and you just peel it like Scotch tape, and then you put it on your journal pages for borders. You can put several layers of washi tape if you want to have a thick border, and some of the washi tapes are very thin. Some of them are colors, some are just neutral. So all of these things are in an envelope. From time to time we put in special theme envelopes. This one is vintage. We often do seasons, spring, summer, fall, and winter. And so there'll be special cutouts and labels and stickers and little pieces of rope or jute or thread or anything that you can use to embellish or add interest and texture to your pages. So I hope that you have got some ideas on how to get started, and some of the things that you might start with very large images, and then you might develop smaller ideas. Some of your pages might be a lot of writing. There'll be future tutorials on doing botanical line drawings, which are really fun to do. They're very simple, and you can use your botanical sketches for some of your labels and things like that. So all of these things you can learn. You can build skills as you go along. Your pages are for you. Your journals don't have to be seen by anyone else other than yourself. At some point in the future, you might want to do gift journals as a legacy project for your family members. But to get started, I say to just start with where you're at and some of the things that you like to write down and to keep track and to make bullet points or write out recipes, anything you want to put in your journal. So thank you very much for ordering your creativity kit. co-sponsored by Museum London, the Creative Age Network, and the London Middlesex Community Housing Corporation. And I hope you've got some ideas to get you started on creative journaling. My name is Kathy Smith. I'm from the Creative Age Studio.